everyone, so today's video is going to be all about me judging you guys' favorite books by their covers. Now, I asked on Instagram to send me like your favorite book covers, and I haven't read any of these books, which is just a coincidence because people just send in books that I haven't read yet. I do own like one of them, so I will be holding up exactly one book in this entire video, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this concept, like regardless. I know it's a bit of a different video, but I thought I would do a more like interactive video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's just get into me judging these book covers, I guess. So yeah, let's just get started. So first of all, we're starting off with a book that I cannot pronounce, so we're starting off great, but that is this cover. This cover is very like soft and magical and like whimsical looking. I don't know if whimsical is the right word, but that's like the first word that came to mind when I saw this cover. So yeah, it's very soft, very magical looking. I don't really enjoy book covers that have like empty space though. And around like the circle of like the design of the book, there's like a lot of empty space, and I'm not really someone who likes books that look like that. And that's just like a preference in the way that I view it, like designs on books. But yeah, I just don't really enjoy covers that look like a little bit like contained, and like they like drew a circle on the cover and then just drew within that circle and didn't go outside of it. I don't really enjoy covers like that, but I would still read this because I saw some of the like art on the inside while I was like looking at the cover on Google, and it does look very cute, so I would probably read this. But yeah, the cover, again, because of me like being like a design major basically for like a couple years in high school, like I can't help but look at this cover and think, why is there so much empty space at the sides? Like it looks weird. So yeah, I would still read this, but the cover, while it is very like soft and magical looking, it's also like a bit empty at the sides. So yeah, I would still read this though. Then the next book is a very popular book, and that is Babel. I'm pretty sure that that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong, but yeah. Both of the covers of these books are very pretty. I'm only showing one of them, but this book has like two covers, and both of them are very pretty. They're both like black and white basically, like black, white, and gray. And I really enjoy covers like that, like very dark. Like I personally really enjoy those. And I feel like it really sets like the vibe for a book. And I feel like this book does that. It also makes me very intimidated to read this because I feel like the cover really shows just how like, I don't know, like how difficult this book is going to be. I don't know if I'm describing it properly, but yeah, I really want to read Babel, but I'm so scared that I'm gonna be like too stupid to understand it. And then my ego, which is already like not high, it's going to be even lower than it already is, and I don't know if I can take that. So yeah, I am very scared to read this book, but I do want to read it someday. But it is very expensive where I live, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to read it someday, but hopefully I will be able to, I guess. So yeah. Then the next book is once again another book that I cannot pronounce, but it is this book. This was sent in by the same person who sent in Babel. So I'm pretty sure that they like black and white covers, and not necessarily like simple covers, but like covers that are like to the point. Because I feel like the cover of Babel is also very to the point. With this one as well, it's very to the point. But I feel like because it's so like simple looking, like I would never gravitate towards a book like this in a bookstore, because I would just look at it and go, I would probably find that boring. No matter what the inside of the book is, I would still look at a cover like this and feel like it's gonna be too boring for me to get through. But I do feel like there is like a, like, I don't know, like a sophisticatedness in like very simple looking covers. And so I do get why this person would like a cover like this. So yeah. Then once again we have another book that I can't pronounce. At this point it's not really the book's fault. It's just my fault for not being able to pronounce anything. But yeah, it is this book. This is by the same author who wrote Cemetery Boys, I'm pretty sure, which that one also had a very pretty cover in my opinion. I also really like this cover. I think the color combination is really pretty. I do feel like the wings of the person in the cover do fade into the background just a little bit too much. I feel like they should have been not necessarily like a different color, but maybe just like a little bit more like gold detailing on it, because the book does have some gold detailing. I don't know if it's visible, but when you look at it really closely, it does have gold detailing. I feel like the wings should have had some of that as well to make them like stand out, because I honestly first thought that the wings were part of the background. So yeah, I do feel like they fit into the background just a little bit too much. But once again, I do really like this like color combination. I think it's really pretty looking. And I also want to read this book. I haven't been able to find it where I live though. So yeah, I do want to like read this book someday. But again, I do think like the wings just fade into the background just like a little bit too much. So yeah. Then next we have Return of Light. Now this book is very pretty looking. Again, I quite like the colors used. It's very like fall looking. And yeah, I do like that. I do think that this book looks a little bit too old for me to be personally like interested in it. If I saw it in a bookstore, like I would never reach towards it, because I feel like I would think it's a book from like the 1960s, and I wouldn't be interested in that just because that's not really like my taste in reading personally. But again, I do understand why people would look at this book and think it's pretty looking, because again, like I said, it's very like fall looking, and the colors are quite pretty, and the vibe of it is quite pretty. So I do understand why people would look at this book and think it's very pretty looking. So yeah. Then next we have another book that I can't pronounce. Again, it seems to be like a theme in this video for me to not be able to pronounce anything. But yeah, it is this book. I do have to assume that it's this cover that the person is talking about, because they mentioned the like indie version. And I'm assuming that this is the indie version and not like the Twilight looking cover, because if it's this cover that you like, I'm gonna question your choices. But yeah, if it's this cover, I do understand that completely. I've also seen the cover for this book and I really want this cover, and it made me really want to read this book because it looks really cool and like really, like I wouldn't necessarily call it like pretty, but I would call it like very like interesting looking. And I would really like gravitate towards a book like this if I saw it in a bookstore. I feel like a part of me makes me compare it to like the cover that Hell Followed With Us has. Like I feel like it kind of reminds me of that one. And I really like covers like that look a bit like dark and like gritty and has like a lot of detailing in it. Like I really like covers like that. And again, the Twilight looking one, no, like why? If this is really like the traditionally like published one, absolutely not. Like why change the pretty cover to this one? It's really weird to do that. But yeah, again, I completely understand liking this cover if it is this cover that the person means, which I hope it is. But yeah, it's a very beautiful cover. I really like it. Like I already said, I really want to read this book, but not in the Twilight looking cover. Otherwise, I will literally not buy it if that's the only cover that there is available. Like I will literally go out of my way to find the pretty cover then. So yeah. Then next, the same person sent in another book, and that is Ray Bear. This is the only book out of this entire list that I do actually own physically, and I haven't actually read it. I'm just in the middle of reading it, but I stopped because it's a fantasy book, and I don't really read fantasy very well. But yeah, let's just get into like me actually talking about the cover. This cover is again kind of like not necessarily the same as the previous cover, but I can kind of see like what covers this person really likes, and it's mainly very full looking covers, because unlike the first book that I mentioned that had kind of like an oval shape and it was empty at the sides, this book also has kind of like an oval shape in the middle, but it still has designs on the sides. And I, as well as like this person that sent it in, probably really like that books look full in the cover. And I also really like the colors, obviously. I think it's really pretty looking. And I also really like the detail of like the face in it. And yeah, I can completely understand why this person likes this cover. I really like it as well. And again, I really like being able to see like what kind of covers people like, just based on like the ones that they send in, because I feel like you can really see like a theme, especially if people send in like multiple covers. You can really see like a theme and like what covers they really like. And again, the design major in me is really like, ooh, what do people like? And like, if I design something for them, like, what would I make it look like based on the stuff that they already like? And yeah, I really like that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's just move on to the next book. And the last book cover that I'm going to talk about, because it's the last book cover that I was sent in, is Imogen, obviously. Now this book cover is very, very pretty. It's very like pastel-y looking, and while I do enjoy like very dark and gritty covers, I also really enjoy like pastel-y covers. And yeah, this book is very pretty. I don't usually like actual people on a cover, like even like drawn people. I usually don't really like those on covers. But I feel like when the people are drawn like this, I find them really pretty because the art is just so beautiful that I feel like I can look past the fact that there's like a person on the cover. And yeah, I have seen other people talking about this book because it's by the same person who wrote Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda, I'm pretty sure. And I did kind of like that book, but it's not really like my thing, those kind of books. And so when I saw that this book like came out, I wasn't really that interested in it, but honestly seeing the cover, I might just buy it and read it just because the cover looks really good, and I feel like the book inside of the cover must be really good then as well, right? Like I feel like that's the kind of vibe that these covers give off. Is that the book must be really good to have like a cover this pretty. So yeah, I am probably gonna like give this book a try because again the cover makes the book look really like interesting to read. So yeah, so thank you to everyone who sent in book covers. I really enjoyed doing this video. I know it's a bit of a different video, but yeah, again, me being kind of like a design major when I used to still be in school, like I really enjoy doing videos like this and kind of like assess what kind of like books people would like based on like, you know, the covers that they like and like why they like the covers maybe, and like guessing it. And I feel like that's really fun to do. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video despite it being a little bit different than usual. I do want to do a video like this again in the future just because I enjoyed it a lot. And I am gonna end this video here because my back really hurts from sitting up for so long. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and bye.